guys, Mr. Stan here with the Genesis School of Music. We have been working on music theory. My word, we have learned a lot. We've got the grand staff here. We've talked about the high notes, the low notes. Let's just kind of review a lot of stuff today. Slow it down. It may be a little bit longer than 5 minutes today. We have the staff. All music is written on 5 lines called the staff. High notes, low notes. The high notes always has this sign. If you play piano, it is the right hand usually on the piano. The low notes always has this sign on the piano. It would be the left hand. You'll see that. And it's also the lower instruments, just like the treble clef sign here is always the high instruments, the flutes, the clarinets, trumpets. This symbol here, the bass clef sign, is always the low notes. Here we got the staff, which is always the 5 lines. We've already talked about that. The bar line breaks up the music, and the music is always broken up with the bar line, and it's always broken up into measures. You'll see through any song, and I'll show you an example today of how all of this is in one song. And I love the in line right there. And here we go. We got the treble clef, we have the bass clef again. Put it all together, you always see this symbol right here that's called the brace. At the top of most songs, you'll see a little note right there with the numbers that tells us how fast or slow. It's called the tempo. How fast or slow to play the song. And the numbers at the very beginning of every song that you ever see, there's always 2 numbers, a 3-4 or a 4-4 or maybe a 6-8. Most songs are just 4-4. Most songs that you hear on the radio or you may sing at church or at a concert or something, it's usually 4-4. That just simply means 4 beats per measure, or right here it would be the 3 beats per measure. The bottom 4 tells us that the quarter note gets that beat. Let me see, we have line notes and space notes. Line notes, you'll see it's right on the line. Space notes is between the lines. There's a line note, there's a space note together. The line notes, we talk about how you can easily learn the line notes as every good boy does fine. That's what I learned when I was a little child, taking piano from Miss Bedgood. She is in heaven now. She'd probably be so proud of us right now talking about music theory. So every good boy does fine, and F-A-C-E, face. Faces are in the spaces, is what we've always said. So wherever the note is on this staff, that's what note you play on your instrument. The shape of the note, there's notes below the staff, the shape of the note tells us how long to hold the note. So the placement of the note on the staff tells us what note to play. The shape of the note tells us how long to hold that note when we play it. The whole note gets 4 counts. Dotted half gets 3 counts. If I ever see a half note, that gets 2 counts. If I ever see that little shape right there, that's called the quarter note. That gets 1 count or 1 beat. The 8th note, there it is. Here it is again, the 8th note. And sometimes you'll see, or actually a lot of times you'll see more than 1 8th note. If you ever see more than 1 8th note, it just has that little line connecting the 2 notes. This is called the 16th note. And here's a little example that we did. I think we did this maybe in lesson 3 or 4. Some rhythm exercises. Let me see. Flat note. If we ever see a little tiny B by a note, that means to play that note a half a step lower than whatever that note is right there. So this note right here is actually the F note. There's an F. So this would be telling you to play the F flat, for example, or the F sharp. If you play piano, the sharp or the flat is usually the black key on the piano. And this just simply means do not play the flat or the sharp, just play the natural. Here's the dynamics of a song. If you see an F at the beginning of a song or anywhere in the song, that means to play that section of music loud. If you see 2 Fs, very loud. 3 Fs, extremely loud. Here's the P, double P, triple P. Soft, very soft, extremely soft. So these are the dynamics of a song. You'll see maybe a symbol like this that tells us to start one volume, but then you get louder and louder. It's gradually louder. This is called the decrescendo or the diminuendo, gradually softer. Here's some new information, and we're getting ready to wrap things up today. It's been a lot of fun learning music theory with you guys. Accent, if you ever see this right here, that just means to play a little bit louder. It's like a harder attack. Staccato is a real famous symbol. The let me see, chopsticks. That's probably one of the most famous staccato songs. It's just plays shorter than notated, so it's like just a real quick beat. This is you don't see this a lot. A fermata is just simply means you sustain longer than the written value. So we used to always say just kind of hold that as pretty well as long as you want to. So this just kind of gives you some freedom in the song. Anytime you see two notes that are the same with a little smiley kind of face under it, you see that little smile? That's called a tie. Two notes with the same pitch are played as a single note. So instead of playing that note and then playing that again, you just hold that note and play it, the value of both notes tied together. So hopefully that makes sense. If you see two notes that with that same kind of symbol, but it's two different types of notes, that's called a slur. First note of a slurred group is played louder than the rest. So you'll see that slur. And anytime you see three notes right on top of each other like that, that's called the chord or the triad. And let's look at this. We're just going to kind of look through this piece of music. This actually is the first two lines of Sweet Home Alabama. I actually live in Alabama. The Genesis School of Music is in Alabama. We started about 12 years ago, and we have a lot of fun. Started with 27 students, had a little over 400 students last year. So we've done well and had a lot of fun doing it. I'm going to kind of walk through this song, and I'm going to show you all the different things that we've learned. What's this called? The grand staff. Those 5 lines there, that's called the staff. There's a staff. That's the treble staff or the treble clef staff. There's the bass clef, and when you put it all together, it's called the grand staff. There's that brace. You see it? Here's the lines that's separating the measures. There's a measure, there's a measure. Let's count how many measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measures so far, and there's a lot more measures in this song. These lines are called the bar lines. At the end of a song, you'll see the double bar line. This is not the end of the song, so you do not see here. Here's something we didn't even talk about. This just tells us this is separating just a section of the music. So here's like the intro of the song. Then you'll see this little double line, and it's telling us that a whole nother section, which is the verse of the song, is coming up right here. So I know this has been a lot more than 5 minutes today. Let me see, what is that note right there? There's that 8th note. Oh, there's the 16th. The 16th counts if you know the song. Is down, 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 down. Those are 16th counts right there. And let me see, here's a half note. There's the 16th note, a quarter note's down there. So everything we've been learning in music theory is a lot of that's all written right here on the example of Sweet Home Alabama. Please like and subscribe. If you want lessons, call the Genesis School of Music. We do live lessons, obviously, here in the Birmingham area. We have several different locations. We do Zoom lessons, FaceTime lessons. We would love to work with you. If you have any questions, give us a call. Check out genesisalabama.com, and I will see you guys another day. Thank you.